Okay, hi there. Today I'm gonna talk to my friend who is an expat living in Korea. I got some questions for you guys, so I ask a question to my friend. Hi.
Hi.
Would you introduce yourself?
So, my name is Ayoub.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Morocco.
Oh,
I've been living in Korea for over a little bit over 7 years now.
7 years now.
Yeah, and I did my master's here.
Wow.
I've been working for a few years now.
Oh, that's great. Then what makes you come to Korea? I mean, there are a lot of countries that you can go, but why Korea?
Yes. So, before coming to Korea, I studied in France. I did my engineering school in there. And I found out that France and Morocco have a lot in common. And they're quite similar, and I was thinking.
You mean living in France and
Yes,
living in your
yes.
country?
Like culture-wise, and in France there are a lot of Moroccan people as well, so it was quite similar. So I was thinking, perhaps I need to go to a little bit more of an exotic country to try and discover new cultures, learn a new language. So Asia was the obvious choice. I was considering China, Japan, Korea, and I found out Korea had a very distinct culture and also very good image in the industry I was aiming to work for, which is civil engineering.
Is it well known in your country or
Yes,
right?
it is known for its technology advances, as well as obviously everyone knows Samsung.
Because for me, 10 years ago when I went abroad, I heard that which country are you from? South or north? I was like so.
Right. I mean, I do get these questions
You
as
do
well
too?
in Morocco or in France, but yeah, these
frustrating.
days, right? But yeah, these days it's much more well known in Morocco, in France, and there are a lot of people who are willing to come to Korea to study.
So you think is it more to economy wise, or is it more to Hallyu Korean wave wise? You think?
I think it depends on people. A lot of people come to Korea because of the Hallyu.
For young generations.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And some people come here because they're interested in the culture, they're interested in learning a new language, and also because Korea is a developed country and it's very known for technology, and it's a very good market to be in and to develop one's skills.
So in your case, it's more like economic wise, technological wise, is it?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It was for me. It was more the technology, but also it was an adventure.
Yeah, correct.
just
What kind of
wanted-
adventure you mean?
I just wanted to go somewhere as far as I could go.
You did?
Yeah, and just be in an unfamiliar place and learn a new language. So I think for me that was the most.
But as you know, for a lot of foreigners or international students, it's hard for even me. When I was studying in Australia, of course, I was supported by my parents, but I still have to earn money by myself unless you get scholarship. So, was there any kind of scholarship program that you could get from?
Yes, so I did have a scholarship from Morocco.
You did?
Yeah, and I also got the scholarship from my university in France. So I did have a scholarship. And because I was part of this program between my French university and Korean university, I only had to pay the tuition fee in France. And as you know, education in France is almost free. So
I hope I can speak French.
well, I mean that's a good strategy.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So, what are you currently doing now?
So now I'm working in a British business consultancy, and our job is to help North American and European tech startups and scale-up enter the Korean market. So we help them with everything related to finding the right Korean partners, securing deals with them, building their revenues from Korea without them having physical presence in Korea.
So, in short, you kind of work as a bridge between Korea and other companies.
Right. That's right. Yeah.
International companies. Right. That's great. I reckon you already speak Korean and English and What's your mother tongue? Is it?
My mother tongue is Arabic,
Yeah.
and in Morocco we do also speak French. So we
So-
study French from elementary school. So yeah.
It's amazing. So how many languages do you speak now then?
So I would say 4 fluently
Mhm.
and 1 just so-so. So Spanish I studied in university,
Wow.
but the other languages, Arabic, French, English, and Korean, I do speak fluently.
But I was wondering, between Arabic and French, is there any similarities?
No similarities at all.
So, of course, since you are very young, you could speak both the language in the environment. But
Yes.
for Korean language, it's totally different language. So, how could you develop the language skill?
For French, for example, I learned since I was young, so it was much easier to learn. English and Spanish, it's a Latin language, so it's similar to French.
Yeah.
So it's much easier to know because obviously if you don't know a certain word, you can guess from because they all have the same root. But for Korean, it was totally different. I had no background and I had to learn from scratch. So I think I would definitely say that Korean was the toughest to learn.
How did you get over it then?
Yes,
A lot of my subscribers want to know how to develop the Korean language skill.
it's a combination of a lot of things. So when I came to Korea, I didn't take any Korean semester.
So basically, you couldn't speak Korean at all.
No. But what helped me a lot is that my environment was all Korean speaking, and I didn't try to find convenience. I didn't try to find foreigners so that I could speak English with them. I kept myself in a Korean bubble, and apart from that, I did some self-study as well. I took a few speaking classes for a few years.
Basically, you self-motivated to expose yourself to
Right.
Koreans.
Yes, right.
Yeah, that's the best solution.
That is the best solution.
Okay.
I think, I mean, it's possible to learn Korean through books and also dramas, different ways, online classes as well. But obviously, the best way is to immerse yourself.
Yeah, with
in
the native speakers.
Yes.
Yeah, I see. Okay, since you speak Korean very well, maybe would you speak some Korean sentences to subscribers?
Yeah.
한국말로 좀 얘기해 보세요.
네, 일단 저는 모로코에서 온 아이유비라고 하고요.
네.
일단 한국에 온 지 한 7년 정도 됐고,
와.
제가 뭐 말씀드리고 싶은 거는 한국어 배우는 거는 일단 쉽지는 않았지만 오랜 시간 걸리고, 근데 약간 보람도 되고 계속 하다 보면 늘 수밖에 없는 그런 언어라고 보시면 됩니다.
고맙습니다. As you know, even me when I studied in Australia, I really loved Australia because Australia gave me an opportunity to study there. But also, there were some bad boys there too. So, living in Korea, what are the pros and cons for you?
So the pros, obviously, Korea is a very safe country.
Yeah, it is true.
And one of the examples I give my friends every time is when you go to a coffee shop in Korea,
Yeah.
a lot of people, and even myself, we reserve our seats using our phone.
Yeah, mobile phone.
Yes, and you go and order, and you go out for like 30 minutes, you come back,
They
your
don't
phone
steal,
is there. So it's I think it's very difficult to imagine this in other countries, and it just give you this sense of safety. So I've never felt actually in danger in Korea. So that's a good thing. I think Korea is as a developed country offers a lot of good opportunities for foreigners either to do business or to develop their own skills in Korea. And
But I was wondering, there are a lot of English teachers who are native, but I didn't see as many people working more than the English teachers. So what kind of businesses you are talking about?
I think Korea has a lot of programs for either startups and also Korean companies are looking to expand their business
Yeah,
overseas.
big companies, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Samsung, LG.
So they need foreigners as well. So there are a lot of opportunities, and Korea is starting to open up to foreigners. So I think
More, yeah.
yeah, there are more and more opportunities.
What are the cons for you?
Obviously, the food, like you
Yeah.
can't find your hometown food, so,
Sure.
and family as well. It's far. It takes a lot of time to go there, and perhaps one con that I was thinking of is that Korea, especially Seoul.
Yeah.
If we talk about Seoul, it's a high-paced lifestyle.
Yeah.
So
Fast.
it's very fast.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's stressful if that's not how you want to live. It's not the place for you. But
Yeah.
if you're happy with having an active lifestyle, living in a fast environment, I think Korea is the right place for you.
Then how can you get over the loneliness for yourself? Because even myself, when I living in expat in Australia, I just try to make some more friends. Then I can get over the loneliness. Of course, also I focused on study too.
Yeah. So I mean, there is no like other way than keeping in touch with your friends and making friends in Korea. And the thing that struck me with Koreans is that from the moment you start making efforts to learn Korean, to get involved, to approach Koreans, they really take care of you as if you were a family member.
Yeah.
So I did feel this in Korea, and it takes a lot from the loneliness. So yeah, just keep in touch. Go out. There are a lot of activities in Seoul. If you live in Seoul, if you live in other places, obviously there are a lot of activities as well.
That would be great. So any comments to my subscribers?
So yeah, profit well from Seungye's classes, and I think they are great. Even though I speak Korean now, I learn a lot from the classes. Although they are beginner classes, what I want to say is learning Korean is a long-term investment. It's a fun journey. So keep your passion, don't give up, and try different ways to learn Korean, and fighting.
Fighting! Bye!
Bye.